I had to wash my beauty blender for this show. Okay, so welcome to the first of my blind to blind makeup tutorial. In this tutorial, I am focusing on primer and foundation, how I put it on and blend it so that I don't have streaks and patches and all of that. So I start with my face being freshly washed and moisturized. You always want to make sure that you never put makeup on bare or naked skin, because a moisturizer provides a slight barrier between if you have any pores that are slightly larger or open, and the makeup. At least that's what I've been told. I am not a beauty guru. So I have, in this video, I am focusing on my primer and foundation. And this is for a blind to blind tutorial because I am so tired of going on YouTube looking for tutorials and it's just blind people showing sighted people how they do their makeup. This is for all my fellow VIPs out there, my visually impaired persons. So I have my foundation and I have my primer and I have a beauty blender that I just cleaned. Beauty blender, and I also use a compact sponge. But I do not use it to apply makeup. I use it for blending after makeup is applied. So I always have a clean one of these. You could use a cotton pad, you could use even a face cloth or a paper towel or toilet paper or tissue, whatever you want to use for blending afterwards. Alright, so we're going to get started. I don't use specific brands. All of my makeup has come from the dollar store or Dollar Mart or clearance from like a liquidation center because I don't have money to spend money on makeup, and I'm not a beauty guru. I really am not. So the only thing I actually invest in is my Sephora foundation because my skin is so light. Any other store where I get the lightest foundation that they have, when I put it on, my skin looks yellow or too dark because I always have my mom check my makeup at first. I didn't grow up doing makeup, so I had to learn all this. Alright, so I start with my primer. Primer I actually like to put on with my fingers because primer is never too heavy. I don't know if I have to shake it or not. I always feel like I need to shake it. And all of my makeup all feels different, so I never have to put markers on it to identify it. Now if you are one of those people that you like all your makeup to be the same brand or whatever it is, and you find that you have two exactly the same bottles, what you can do is you can use masking tape and wrap masking tape around one of the bottles. You can also use tiny hair elastics and wrap them around so you know that 3 elastics is your specific bottle or whatever that marker is. So I use markers in my other things, but I don't need to use it with my makeup. So I'm starting with primer. I have a liquid primer. I really recommend that you use a liquid or one of those liquid to dry combinations, because I find powder can be caked on, and also too when you're applying and you're applying powder can become loose and onto your clothes, and if you forget to check, like sometimes I often do, you can go out looking like you have a really bad case of dandruff all over your clothes. So like that's not embarrassing. So I like to put primer on with my hands. I put the amount that I think I'm going to need onto the back of my hand, and then I apply with the fingers of my other hand. So I like to pat it around my hand so I don't have too much at once, and I just dab it on as I go around. So I'm doing that right now. I'll make some small talk while I do it. I always feel like I'm really boring. So I was thinking of challenging like fellow YouTube beauty gurus. Well, they wouldn't be fellow because I'm not a beauty guru. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I was gonna challenge them and be like, see if you can do mirrorless makeup and tag me, and I would love to hear how you did, like how you did following the tutorial. But then I was like, no one watches my videos. And I'm pretty sure a beauty guru is not gonna come to a blind person like me and be like, how do you do your makeup? So anyways, I thought that would be fun, but yeah. I like to think if I have a video that has like 300 views, I'm pretty sure 1/3 of those views is my very supportive mom watching it over and over and over, and my fiance is another 3%, and then that one last 3% is all of my faithful followers, which by the way guys, I'm still blending my primer, I'm not forgetting steps and telling you, I just want to thank everybody so much for their support recently. I did an interview on the Parker Daniels show, and there was a lot of my subscribers who were going on there and commenting and being really nice. And a lot of my other videos that I've put up, I'm getting a lot of really positive feedback, and I just want to say thank you so much. Those comments really do touch me. I really love the support, and you guys make me feel good. So thank you. I love it. So one thing that I do say is I do not blank out my lips. Even when I could see to do my makeup, I never blanked out my lips. So if you're wondering how long I've been without sight or with sight, I actually have a video you can watch going blind at 26 years old. And actually 26 was when I lost enough sight to be deemed legally blind. I actually started losing it about 3 years ago when I was actually 25. But I was still in the process that I thought I would be getting some of it back. So yeah. Alright, so I've applied my primer all over. I don't cover my eyebrows and I don't cover my lash line because you have really, really teensy tiny, eeny, little oil glands where those hairs grow, and you don't want to block those. So, alright, so I just do a double check going over. And the one thing I like about my liquid primer is if I quickly feel over real fast with my fingers, I can feel if there's any spots that I missed. At least while it's still moist. And actually, I remembered I just forgot to do my neck. You always want to do a part of your neck going down. You don't need to do your whole neck, but you need to do enough of it so that it doesn't look like you're wearing a mask that stops at your jawline. So. I can hear my family talking about stuff. I don't know what they're talking about, but I can hear them. So I don't know if my camera will pick it up or not. Actually, I have to apologize because I'm actually sitting farther back away from the camera today than I normally do because I have a table in front of me that has my makeup supplies on it. So I'm just doing that. Now, if I am performing or I'm going to be singing or playing an instrument somewhere where I'm performing, I actually use primer and foundations on my hands because my hands, the back of my hands are, I can't remember if they're actually darker than my face color or lighter. This is a trick you'll notice sometimes because I forget things. And sometimes I forget because I know that the back of my hands are actually a different color than my face. I just can't remember if they're lighter or darker. I have a feeling they're lighter than my face. Alright, so I have my primer all put on, and again, I blend it all out with my fingers, make sure everything is blended. So now here comes the fun part where I use my foundation. And this is the only one that I use, and really I shouldn't even mention Sephora because they're not giving me any kind of commission for this, but it's the only one that I actually ever make an investment in. And I think I bought this like 2 years ago. That's how much makeup I use. Yeah, because it's still very full. I didn't grow up wearing makeup, so for me doing makeup is kind of tricky. Now, I put the foundation on the back of my hand, and I actually have a bowl of water, or if you're near your sink, and I actually dampen my beauty blender. And the reason I do this, now I use a foam beauty blender. I know that there's these new fancy silicone beauty blenders. Watch out for those because you are applying, you cannot see if you over apply or if it leaves streaks. I cannot give you advice on how to avoid streaks if you have a silicone beauty blender. So I use a foam beauty blender, and I just put it in my water and I let it absorb water, and then I squeeze the water out because I want it damp. Yeah, like not soaking wet, just damp. So I do that, and then I apply. Now, I have no idea if this is actually good or bad for your beauty blender. I have a feeling it's bad because I don't know if mold can get inside. I don't know how beauty blenders work. And so I apply my beauty blender. I'm applying my foundation on, and I'm just doing little dabs at first, going over my major areas with the beauty blender. And again, the beauty blender is damp, okay? And I like using the foam ones because it does absorb makeup, and I realize that probably eats up a lot of your makeup. But that's also a good thing because you won't accidentally over apply and look really cakey. And so I have I think it's a wet to dry foundation. So it dries like a matte, or I think it's supposed to be a matte. I don't know, maybe I'm glossy and I don't know. Okay, so I've applied all my, I know that for me, I've learned that my makeup is 2.5 pumps. So, alright, now I'm applying, or blending it out with my makeup. I feel like I'm incredibly boring. This part is incredibly boring. Again, my biggest tips here is using a wet beauty blender and going over everything. And I don't like my makeup on thick because I don't want it to look cakey. I want it to look very natural. And I just realized I did take a before and after picture for all my sighted followers, because I know I have quite a few sighted followers, which I think that's kind of cool. So, can I call you guys sighties? I said that one day and my mom's like, that's offensive. And I'm like, I don't mind if people call me blindy, like, but no one does. So, anyways, yeah. So I'm just blending it out, and so I have all my face done. I actually reapply for my neck, but for my neck area, I again redamp my blender. So, yeah. Again, I try not to blank out my lips or wash out my lips with the foundation, because I actually find that my lipstick does not stick when I'm using that method. I know I've heard other beauty people online, I listen to them and they're like, yeah, it sticks to the foundation, or you know, you get cleaner lines or whatever they're trying to say, or you get more even tone on your lips. I've never found this to be true, actually. At least not for me. Again, I'm blind, I could be wrong. When you're first doing makeup, make sure you have a sighted friend or somebody who you trust, who is polite and sensitive to your feelings, and just ask them and say, hey, does this look okay? Alright, so now I'm going to apply for my neck, and I just pop my beauty blender in my bowl. So my stupid camera seems to have this thing where it shuts off on me. I don't know if it has a timer. So if anyone else has the Canon EOS Rebel T100, I think is what it is. Wow, good memory. If you know me, I don't remember things like that. Please let me know how to turn this timer off. Oh, it's so annoying. So I think it cut out when I was beauty blending my makeup in. So I dab it on real quick and I blend it out, and then I use because I already did this. I already did this next step, but I grabbed the sponge that's from a foundation compact, and it's like a powder puff kind of thing, you know, it's like a flat pancake. I use that and I swipe just once. I'm not going to do it now as I'm telling you, but it helps to really make sure my makeup is blended, and if there's any patches where I didn't blend good enough, it does that. So I'm going to walk you through how I do it. So I take that, I put it between my eyebrows, and I swipe up towards my hairline, and then I go in the middle of the forehead, and I go along the outside between my hairline and my eyebrow all the way over to the side of my eye. Again, I do that in the middle of my forehead, go around the other side. I go down and swipe the center of my nose and down each side of my nose. I swipe over each eyelid, and I swipe down the mustache area. I don't know what to call that because I hate saying my upper lip, because I do not apply makeup onto the lip area itself, or at least I try not to. I probably do, but I try not to. But anyways, the mustache area, and then I do a swipe over my cheeks, just like, again, you don't want to re-go over where you're going, and you don't need to be like scrubbing it. You're only blending it in, and I go over my chin area, and then I go down my neck, okay? And all that does, you're not taking off your makeup. All that does is just make sure it's all blended in. And one interesting thing that I think it does is if you have extra makeup in one spot, but then no makeup below it, and you do the swipe, you actually drag that makeup over that area. So you're getting lots of blending, lots of coverage. It's going to look natural. It's going to look good. So my next video, I'm actually doing my contour. And in my contour, I am going to be using thin masking tape. I know that sounds hilarious, but it is my lifesaver for getting contour to create shadows so that I can make my face look, I don't know, more 3D effect, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so stay tuned. Make sure to watch for that, make sure to look for that next video coming out. It's my blind to blind makeup tutorial series, and so it'll be blind to blind tutorial, makeup, contour, and blush. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.